Good evening, football fans, and welcome inside National Stadium here in Southeast Jamaica in the capital, Kingston, for tonight's first leg of the round of 16 of the 2017 inaugural Concacaf League. Glad to have you with us. Tyler Terrence here in Jamaica, and we have a fantastic contest on hand against Portmore United FC and Plaza Amador of Panama. Pitch conditions are beautiful, 87 degrees, no chance of rain, and a little bit of wind here. As you can see, 7 miles per hour as the players are making their way onto the pitch. This should be a fantastic evening of football. These two storied clubs going head-to-head here in the first ever Scotiabank Concacaf League, as these two teams are looking to make their print on history and get their first ever win, possibly the first ever goal for their clubs in this inaugural tournament. Portmore United have yet to start their domestic league season. On the other side for Amador, they are already 3-0 in their domestic league in the Liga Panameña, and they're just recently taking down Atletico Veraguense with Murillo scoring a dramatic goal in the 87th minute. So Amador in great form. Portmore United on the other side have not yet played with this specific squad in a domestic league game. As you see there, the coaches for either team shaking hands. Shavar Thomas there on your screen, recently being named the Portmore United head coach just a few days ago, and he replaced Linval Dixon, who actually got to back-to-back finalist appearances in the Jamaica League. That's the Red Stripe Premier League in Jamaica. And despite the success that Dixon had, they felt the need to bring in the 36-year-old Shavar Thomas, who has a storied history in the game of football, not only domestically in Jamaica, but as well in the United States, playing a number of years in the MLS with the likes of Los Angeles Galaxy, Chivas USA, Philadelphia Union, Sporting KC, Montreal Impact, just to name a few, as well as 43 appearances with the Jamaica national side. So his first game ever with Portmore United. He's originally from Hannahtown, Jamaica, so this a very special experience for Shavar Thomas, now coming back to his home country to coach. And on the other side, Jair Palacios in charge of this very, very strong Panamanian side, who have 5 league titles to their name, their most recent one coming in 2016. They qualified for this tournament as runners-up of their domestic league. After beating Chorrillo 1-0 in the semifinals, they fell to Unido in the final 2-0, and that is how they find themselves in the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League, as we are just moments away from kickoff here in Kingston at the National Stadium. And due to the gravity of this tournament, all teams are asked to move to a bigger, just a little bit more nicely lit, nice pitch in terms of their stadium, as we are almost set for kickoff here in Jamaica, as the players now making their way out onto the pitch. So historic moments here for both sides. 11 players on each team can officially say that they started for the first ever game in their respective clubs in the 2017 inaugural CONCACAF League, as now the pleasantries will commence between the two sides. And you see there Ahmed Ramirez, the captain for this Plaza Amador team, at the front of the line for this Panamanian side, who are looking to get off to the right start. And first we'll take a starting lineups for this Jamaican side, Portmore United, the home team in this first of two legs. You see Shaven Paul in goal, Andre Dice, Stephen Williams, Ricardo Morris. Jeremy Lynch will be up top, Osani Ricketts, Ewan Grandison, the captain for tonight, Enrico Ricketts, Michael Binns, Damian Binns, as well as Ron D. Smith. The Binns brothers provide a ton of pace and a lot of quality and a lot of experience as well. And as the aforementioned coach, Shavar Thomas on the bottom as well, as you get a look at the Portmore side. And on the other side for the away team, who are looking to get those precious away goals in this sort of tournament first and second leg format. Those away goals are certainly coveted. They're hard to come by, but they can do a world of good heading into the second leg. The second leg of this matchup between the Jamaican and Panamanian side will head back to Panama in a week's time. But first, 90 minutes to settle here in the capital of Jamaica, here in Kingston at the National Stadium, as it's Ewan Grandison, the captain for Portmore, and Ahmed Ramirez, the captain for Plaza Amador. You see there the referees, Armando Villarreal, in charge of all of the important decision makings in the middle of the park, joined by Ansley Rochard, Joseph Bertrand, and Hector Rodriguez, the fourth official. And another historic picture to go in the books here, as we are just moments away from kickoff. These two storied clubs going head to head here. Portmore United qualifying by finishing third in the Caribbean Club Cup, and now the starting lineups for Plaza Amador: Eric Hughes in goal, Humberto Gomez at the back, Francisco Bethencourt, he'll be in the engine room working in the middle of the park. Ahmed Ramirez up top, Algish Dixon, Ernesto Sinclair, he'll be one of the point man up top. Lid Carvalho, Jose Maria scoring the dramatic goal in their most recent club match, Luis Frez, Sergio Ortega, Valentin Pimento, and in charge of them all is Yair Palacios, as both teams practicing their pregame rituals, getting the feet ready, getting the feet warm for what should be a scintillating 90 minutes here in Southeast Jamaica. Portmore normally play their games at Ferdi Neta Sports Complex, but moved to National Stadium for this big affair. And now we will take a look at who will be available off the bench for either team. And obviously with Plaza Amador in the middle of their domestic league season, they're going to obviously have to manage some bodies and manage some minutes and keep everybody fresh. So expect to see some early substitutes from the side out of Panama. And on the other side for Portmore, this is the first game of their 2017-2018 campaign. Almost set for kickoff here. Players extremely anxious to get underway in their first ever 2017 Scotiabank Concacaf League match. Remember, the first of two legs, away goals, will be the difference maker if the aggregate is tied at the end of the second leg. So any goal or goals that Plaza Amador score here tonight will certainly come in handy in a week's time. And Portmore United trying to take care of business at home in their home country of Jamaica. Just waiting for the go-ahead from Armando Villarreal, the American referee in charge. And we are underway in the round of 16, this first leg between a Panamanian and Jamaican side. Again, Tyler Terrence, glad to have you with us in what should be a fantastic 90 minutes. Plaza Amador sporting the blue uniforms with the red shorts. Portmore United in the white jerseys, white shorts, and red socks. Portmore moving from right to left, Amador moving from left to right, and that is how we will go for these next 90-plus minutes, as Portmore immediately gaining back possession. Again, this Portmore team coming in third place in the Caribbean Club Championship, and that's how they qualified for the CONCACAF League. Ortega was trying to put the moves on, but good defensive work from Portmore, but that pass underneath the feet of the far winger, and we'll go right back to Amador. Off to a rip-roaring start in their domestic league, 3-0 already. And we mentioned before, taking down Atletico Veraguense 1-0 on July 29th. So not too long ago, Murillo scoring the lone goal in the 87th minute to give Jair Palacios' side the win. Armando Villarreal having a conversation with a couple of players on the field right now, and there's a look at Shavar Thomas, the head coach for this Portmore United team. Spent a number of years in America in the MLS, most recently with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers. Had a couple of years of college soccer at the University of Connecticut in Storrs, Connecticut in 2001 and 2002. And just being named the head coach on the other side, Jair Palacios has been in charge for a number of years here for Plaza Amador. And looking to keep the good times rolling. They have been extremely successful over the past couple of seasons, taking home the league championship in 2016, 5 league championships for the Panamanian side, dating back to 1988, their first. And there's a good challenge from Bethencourt, who's played every single minute for this Panamanian side in their first 3 matches of the season. But this is everyone's first ever appearance in a Concacaf league. Pimento wins it back, and Plaza Amador will try to possess here. Portmore happy to let the Panamanian side possess in their own defensive third. Now a little bit of pressure from the Jamaican side. Monty Smith bringing it down. Portmore, decent possession here in the middle of the park. First time that they've had a nice spell of possession. There's Damian Binns, 25-year-old, born in St. Catherine, Jamaica. Jeremy Lynch was waiting for it to come down and playing it in the far corner. And it will be a throw-in about 109 yards away from their own goal for Plaza Amador. Portmore trying to keep it in their own end. And throw-in is going to be for the Jamaican side. No call from Armando Villarreal. As Stephen Williams sends this over the byline, and it'll be a goal kick. The first of the evening for Eric Hughes, the 31-year-old goalkeeper in his 3rd season with Plaza Amador, as Shavar Thomas having a few words with his central midfielders just in terms of positioning and tactical jargon. Last touch off of Plaza Amador, and it will be a throw-in for the Panamanian side. Bethencourt now sent ahead. First threatening move from Amador. Bethencourt goes out wide. Portmore doing a good job defensively, though, to force the touch negative. A couple of moves from Sergio Ortega, 27-year-old in his 6th season with Plaza Amador. He's been with one other club. And that'll go all the way to the center back for Portmore. Andre Dice. Bad giveaway here from Portmore, and now an opportunity. Ramirez. Good movement here from Amador to break the Portmore pressure. Long ball sent the other way, but nobody home for the Panamanian side, and it'll go all the way to Shavian Paul. 26-year-old, 25 starts last season in his 2nd season with Portmore. But remember, this is the first game of the 2017-2018 season for this club under new coach Shavar Thomas. as they're looking for a good start to this campaign. Having finished up the Red Stripe League back in May, as the long ball sent ahead for Williams goes out of play, as they continue to call his number, looking for him down on the left flank. Portmore wins it back in the middle of the park. Good defensive play from the Panamanian side, who are now off to the races. Bethencourt looking to go out wide, trying to pick out the captain, Ahmed Ramirez. Ramirez drops it off, takes some contact, and now the ball whipped into the area. Not cleared away. Murillo sees the ball taken away from him. Now it's along for Williams once more. But Amador there to provide pressure, and Williams hearing footsteps, not able to get a clean touch on it. And it'll go back to the Panama side, who, while on the road, have come out swinging here and are putting a lot of pressure on the Jamaican side. Almost played 8 minutes here at the National Stadium in this first leg of the round of 16 in the 2017 Scotiabank Concacaf League. Neither team really to create a chance, or a half chance for that matter. Both squads just trying to feel each other out, which is usually the case throughout any football match in the opening stages. Bethencourt, long for Ramirez. And that ball way over the crossbar, and it'll be a goal kick for Shavian Paul. Damian Binns. Now coming to receive it is Ewan Grandison in the middle of the park for this Portmore side. The captain, 31 starts a year ago, was on the Jamaica Gold Cup roster that saw a historic run for the Reggae Boys, falling in the Gold Cup final to the United States by a goal from Jordan Morris in the 88th minute. Give the USA the trophy just a few weeks ago. But a very solid run from a very strong Jamaica side that a lot of people didn't expect to get to the final. The help of Damian Maddox as well as Romario Williams, Ewan Grandison and company, they were able to pull off a couple of major upsets and shock the CONCACAF world. Portmore with a nice spell of possession here. Trying to squeeze through, but shut off nicely by the Amador defense. Now it comes out wide for Damian Binns. Now into the middle of the park. Williams. Portmore very patient here, trying to find a seam to break through. Goes out wide for Williams again, but Jeremiah Lynch, who he was looking for, wasn't on the same page. And then Amador give possession right back due to a similar problem of a couple of players not being on the same page. Javar Thomas still trying to figure things out here. Expectations certainly high here for the Jamaican club that has 5 league titles as well. Most recent one coming in 2012, dating back to 1993, was their first league title. And Linval Dixon, who was the original coach for this Portmore team, got to back-to-back Red Stripe League finals, but still saw himself sacked. So it just goes to show the importance they place on not only winning, but winning championships here at this Portmore United club. Good movement here from Amador. It's a good tackle, but it ends up falling to Ortega. But Ortega has his pass cut out. Now it's Grandison. Amador not letting the ball out of Portmore's defensive third. I hear Palacios encouraging his team to press higher, but now surrendering possession. Bit of a slow start here for these two teams, just trying to feel each other out. Goes outside for Enrico Ricketts. Now Grandison once more. And he really makes them go in the middle of the park, but that pass didn't go anywhere but to the foot of an Amador player as it's Bethencourt. Now coming out wide for Humberto Gomez. With Carabali getting his first touch. Amador looking for an option. They find one with Ahmed Ramirez. Ramirez going for goal. And that's easy work with Davion Paul. From about 25 yards out, but the captain getting the first shot on goal for either team. Ramirez in his 6th season with the Panamanian side, actually spent a little bit of time with the Real Monarchs of the United Soccer League, 2nd division in the United States. Played with them in 2016, making a few appearances. Now it's Stephen Williams once more. Andre Dice. Grandison with a nice touch. And now Portmore with some room to play. They send it through. It's a decent ball. Portmore asking for a foul. But they're not going to get one from American referee Armando Villarreal. As it was Ricardo Morris who was tripped up from behind. Looking for a streaking Rondi Smith. First sign of offensive life from the Jamaican side. Eric Hughes, 31-year-old goalkeeper for Jair Palacios. Very stingy defense, this Plaza Amador team. Conceded only 18 goals in the 2016-2017 season. And they've scored 6 and only conceded 1 in their first 3 games of the 2017-2018 campaign. So a club that is not exactly fond of seeing the ball go in the back of their own net. And it certainly shows in the statistics. Jair Palacios placing a lot of onus on the defensive responsibilities of his back four and his holding central midfielders. But the back four of Lid Carabali, Algish Dixon, Luis Freys, and Humberto Gomez certainly carried the defensive load. All 4 of them have not come out of a game yet this year. As this goes all the way back, Freys giving chase. Getting away from Ricardo Morris. And now Amador going to be patient here. I wanted to turn the ball over in their own end, but they turn it over on Portmore's side. Damian Binns clipping it, trying to find Rondi Smith. Ramirez through for Gomez. Humberto Gomez trying to return pass for Ramirez. Letting it run through Sinclair. And Amador looking to set up camp here on Portmore's side. And then last touch off of Portmore, and it will be an Amador throw-in. Both teams very strong defensively, not allowing for a lot of room to play for their opposition. Good step from Grandison. And now they're looking to operate the other way. Ricardo Morris giving chase, rather that's Jeremiah Lynch, who was trying to hunt the ball down. Rondi Smith and Lynch are the 2 targets up front for this Portmore side, who are playing a 4-4-2. While on the other side, Plaza Amador playing a 4-5-1, so really loading the numbers in the middle of the park and just hoping that Ernesto Sinclair can hold the ball up for them while they wait for the wingers and the attacking midfielders to arrive. So certainly a lot of tactical work to do for Shavar Thomas as we take another look at the foul there from Stephen Williams. Stephen Williams with 30 starts last season, 22 years old. Carabali trying to find Sinclair as Smith brings it down. Lynch going out wide for Ricardo Morris. Long ball to the other side for Williams. It's a good one as he brings it down calmly. And he was hoping to find Smith, whose chest touch let him down initially. Smith still hunting it down, giving Gomez some issues. Humberto Gomez with some work to do, picked off by Stephen Williams. Still number 7. Now dishing it off for Grandison. Ewan Grandison going for goal, but that's blocked before it could get anywhere by Pimento. And you can see why this Panamanian team only surrendered 18 goals a year ago. Very tight in the middle of the field. And no wonder playing a 4-5-1. They have certainly the numerical advantage in the middle of the pitch. Sent ahead for Ramirez. Cleared away by the Portmore back line. Now it's outside for Williams once more. Looking at the other direction was Michael Binns. And now here's Ricardo Morris full steam ahead. Morris stood up by the Panamanian back line. Decent moves here. Now long into the middle of the park. Good moves here as there's a shot on frame. It's fumbled initially by Hughes, and it's out of bounds for a corner, much to the delight of the home crowd here at National Stadium. The first corner for either team in this first leg of the round of 16 in the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. And we'll take a look one more time. As Michael Binns just putting it on frame, trying to make something happen. Hey.
A Sinclair, si dice la verdad es piso. Ojo. Vale, te llamo su marca.
12 starts and 6 goals a year ago in his 3rd season with Portmore. Michael Binns played for the Wilmington Hammerheads of the United Soccer League in 2016. As this corner is sent towards the back post, but over the head of everybody, including Andre Dice. Shavar Thomas having a word with his coaching staff. As Ewan Grandison was unable to get the right foot on that most recent corner. A little more than 19.5 minutes played here in Southeast Jamaica in Kingston. No score between this Jamaican and Panamanian side. Both two very strong defensive teams. The battle has really been fought mostly in the middle of the park, in the middle third of the field. And there's a foul against Portmore. There'll be a free kick for Amador. Frey's the one taken down. Lynch committing the foul. And just a clever touch from Frey to get away from Jeremiah Lynch. Amador has seen the majority of the possession early on, even being the away side. Portmore deal well with the cross sent in. Ball stays in play. Randy Smith tracking it down. Carabali was looking for an option and had to go all the way back for Eric Hughes. Dixon. Back over for Carabali. Ramirez does well to hold off Williams. This great 1-2 touch football from Amador. Now the ball whipped in and cleared away by the Jamaican side. Bins muscled off the ball, but last touch is going to be off of Plaza Amador, and it will be a goal kick for Davion Paul. And it was a neat little touch from Bethencourt just to get around the defender, but ended up paying the price. Still looking for a real opportunity between these two teams. Portmore surrender possession yet again as they continue to try to come down this left-hand side to find Stephen Williams. But now it's with Bethencourt. Ahmed Ramirez, the leader and captain of this Jair Palacios team. Jair Palacios urging his team to switch the field, and that's what they do a little bit slowly at that. But they end up coming out wide for Bethencourt once more. Ramirez spins away from the first defender. Still Ramirez laying it back. Now Ramirez has it on his feet again, just trying to scoop it through for either Murillo or Clemente to run onto, but it's Paul who comes away with it. And he finds Ricardo Morris. But Morris gives the ball right back. Very much a match that's being determined in the middle of the field. Andre Dice does well. Able to find Enrico Ricketts. Great touch from Ronnie Smith. Now it goes out wide again. Portmore waiting for some teammates to arrive. Ewan Grandison. Captain looking up at Stephen Williams. Damian Bins. There's a heavy challenge from Bethencourt, who wags his finger at Armando Villarreal, but it certainly was a foul on number 8. He was claiming that Damian Bins took a dive. However, it will be a free kick for Portmore United, and an opportunity for them to send some of the bigger bodies into the penalty area. Take another look here, just a clever touch from Bins to escape from Bethencourt, who came in a little bit late and punished for his tardiness. Portmore looking for an avenue, have to go negative. Much has been the story of this first half so far. Very good defensive positioning from both sides, and we expected it at a Plaza Amador. Surrendered only 18 goals in the 2016-2017 season. But for this Portmore side, and under a new coach in Shavar Thomas, who was a defender himself and probably placing a lot of importance on the concept of defending and how it can help a football team. And while it seems rather obvious, there are teams throughout the world and maybe throughout the Concacaf league that might just think to themselves that it might be better served to just try to go out and score as many goals as possible and see what happens. But both coaches drilling their teams extremely well in the art of defense, as we do have an injured Amador player down. Checking on that right leg. He appears to be okay. As it is Luis Fraze, who is the injured player. Very important piece of this Amador back line. Good move here from Portmore as they win the ball back. Back out for Damian Bins. looking to deliver the service, but it's cleared away by the Amador back line. Still with Portmore, though. For Grandison. Ewan Grandison finding Lynch. Takes a little bit of a stumble, and he gets taken down, and it will be a free kick for the Jamaican side. This in a very dangerous area. Portmore have been knocking on the door, and now the fans starting to sense a real chance coming. As we'll take another look, and it certainly was a naughty challenge from behind by Valentin Pimento. And while Amador has certainly had the majority of possession, Portmore now with the first real opportunity of the match from a free kick. As Armando Villarreal breaks out the magic spray. Number of players capable of taking this for the Jamaican side. I have to imagine Ewan Grandison will be somebody who might want to be on top of the ball, as well as Michael Binns. A four-man wall here for Jair Palacios' side, and it will be Grandison standing over it, the captain, looking to lead from the front here. And it's taken with the left foot, but it's always going over the bar and never troubling Eric Hughes, as Michael Binns just couldn't find the frame there, and an opportunity wasted for the Jamaican club, who are still looking to take advantage of home field and get up on the scoreboard. And you see there, Binns always leaning back, so the ball always going over the bar. And certainly frustrated and telling his comrades, my bad. Dice up for the header. It's up beforehand by Ortega. Great work on the outside from Ricketts. Pass was intended for Ricketts, but it's given right to Ameth Ramirez, who's found himself on the left side of the field, trying to get through three Portmore defenders, but is not successful. And now we're going to have a yellow card issue, the first of the match, to Plaza Amador. And it's Ortega who goes into the book, being shown mustard here in the 29th minute. And we'll take another look. Seemed as though he was away from the ball. And Villarreal just going back and giving Ortega the yellow card retroactively. And we will resume play, almost a half an hour gone. And not much to write home about just yet. Jair Palacios looking on, not exactly happy at the moment with his way his team is playing, as they've been on their heels for the past few minutes or so. But now making a move, going into an attacking area. Very strong challenge from Ricketts, that ends up winning the ball back, but they surrender possession back in the form of Humberto Gomez. Carabali. Betancourt. Lynch and Smith providing the pressure. Goes all the way back to Hughes again. Portmore just doing a very good job. And it's not just their front four that are, or their back four rather, they're doing a good job defensively. It's their forwards as well, who are showing great defensive posture, not allowing Amador to play out of the back. Betancourt trying to get around a couple defenders. Takes a hit, no call from the referee. Betancourt taken down, no call again from Villarreal. And now sent over the top, but a good step from the Amador back line. Last touch off of Amador, and it will be a Portmore throw-in. Binns. Michael Binns, that was, going out wide for Damian Binns, who was hoping for Ron D. Smith. Ball to Damian Binns once more. And Ricardo Morris was just trying to let it run through his legs. But the Amador defender knew exactly what he was trying to do. Ramirez with a good through ball. And getting on the end of it is Ortega. Ortega on the left side, looking to take on a couple of defenders. Still Ortega into the middle. But it's cut out by Enrico Ricketts, and it needed to be. As Murillo was waiting in the box to see if the service would get to his foot. And it'll be Murillo now to trot over to the corner to take the corner kick. First corner kick of the evening for this Panamanian side, who have not lost a game yet in 2017-2018 competitions. Coming off a 1-0 win over Veraghense, in which Murillo scored in the 87th minute. Now looking to perhaps deliver an assist from the corner. Murillo with an outswinger. It's a decent ball in. The header towards the back post. Still with Amador. Goes all the way back out for Carabali. Great footwork there from Ricardo Morris. Oohs and ahs from the crowd. Now Damian Binns. Along for Rondi Smith, but how about that for a challenge from Luis Fraze? And it is becoming more and more apparent as to why this team has such a good defensive reputation. And challenges like that from Luis Fraze, they leave no doubt in your mind that this is one of the best defensive teams in the Concacaf League. There's the old saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships, and that may be the case for this Amador side, who may not be full of goals, but they can certainly get them when they need to, and they're not going to concede many. Ahmed Ramirez. Ramirez once more. Over the top now, Ortega on top of it. Ortega going for goal. It's a good shot, and it's just past the goalkeeper, Paul, who did take a touch to it. And it will be a corner for the team out of Panama. I hear Palacios not happy with something, and here's another look at the shot from Ortega. As it appeared that Vivian Paul got a touch to it. And indeed he did, as it will be a corner, and this time Murillo will be able to whip it in with an in-swinger with that left foot. And now Armando Villarreal having a conversation with August Dixon, as well as Ricardo Morris and Stephen Williams, as well as Jeremiah Lynch. Not happy with all the extracurricular activity going on in the penalty area. Murillo to send it in. It's another good ball. It's headed down and it's cleared off the line. Oh, what a defensive play. It was Michael Binns, who was right on the front post where he needed to be, and clears it off the line and keeps it at 0-0. You take another look. It was a free header. And that was most certainly a goal for Plaza Amador, if not for Michael Binns, with a play that may not show up on the score sheet, but is most definitely worth a goal. Ricardo Morris around a couple of defenders. Nice little step over, and now taken down. But no call from Armando Villarreal, and we'll play on. Lynch trying to get back in defensive position in case Amador give it away just like that. And he's right where he needs to be, but his pass deflected. Now falling for Amador. Bethencourt. I hear Palacios directing traffic from the touchline, as you'll see most managers do. Both teams really not able to figure each other out now. We are well into the first half, approaching halftime here. And that most recent header from Amador that was cleared off the line by Michael Binns. Really the first chance of the game for either team. Portmore did have a free kick about 10 minutes ago from the top of the box that saw the same Michael Binns sky it over the crossbar. Here's Ahmed Ramirez through the legs of the defender. Ramirez still on top of it, trying to bully his way through with a little Maradona. And it's Damian Binns who comes away with it. Binns clears it up, trying to find Ron D. Smith, but good defensive position from Lid Karabali. Calls for Morris again. Looking to link up with Ron D. Smith, but the give and go a little bit too far out of the reach of Morris. A little frustrated with the decision by his teammate. Certainly is hot here in Jamaica. As you can see, the players perspiring quite a bit. 87 degrees, no chance of rain, and a little bit of a breeze coming in. Bethencourt with plenty of space to dribble into. Looking for an option and finds Fraze, but a great sliding challenge from Stephen Williams, as it appears that he has switched sides now. He was originally on the left wing, now over on the right. As maybe Shavar Thomas feels there's a mismatch on the other side of the field, but Luis Fraze, a very solid defender, as we've already seen tonight. Morris flicking it on, but nobody on his backside to latch onto it. Jeremiah Lynch chasing. Dixon was striding forward, but puts the brakes on. Now Fraze around Jeremiah Lynch, and Lynch going to go into the book now, being shown a yellow card here in the 39th minute after a nasty challenge on Luis Fraze.
Number 9, minute 39.
Take another look. Fraze taking that big touch, as we've seen a number of times today, that's gotten some defenders into trouble. And a little bit late there from Jeremiah Lynch. They're looking for a breakthrough. Almost 40 minutes played, and really just one threatening shot on goal. And Portmore United's Michael Binns cleared it off the line to keep us at 0 apiece. Morris runs into a wall of blue jerseys, has to go backwards for Binns. Michael Binns. As it appears that he has slid into a bit more of a defensive role, where Ewan Grandison was originally playing at the start of the match. Here is the aforementioned Grandison, taking a big touch away from Bethencourt, and now Grandison off to the races. Michael Binns loves it on that left foot, going out wide now for Morris. It's a good ball in for Smith, but cleared away by Algus Dixon. Ortega with a neat flick, and cleared away once more. Real sending it into space for Ahmed Ramirez, and now cleared away by Andre Dice, as he had a little bit more time than he thought. And Shavar Thomas not happy with simply surrendering possession when Dice had so much time on the ball. And now long for Bethencourt. He's got some room to play. Now dropping it off. Here's a shot, it's blocked in front, only as far as Gomez. With a neat move, trying to get to the byline. Still Gomez, back for Bethencourt. Trying to whip it in, blocked away by Morris. And Morris's touch out of bounds. And now Armando Villarreal going back to check on the injured Michael Binns. The referee signaling to the Portmore bench for medical attention. And we'll take another look at exactly what happened. And you see there as Binns was just trying to go for the ball, ended up catching Humberto Gomez's studs on the bottom. Interesting play. You'll never, perhaps I shouldn't say never, you'll rarely see a defender who's looking to put in a tackle get hurt by the bottom of the studs of the opposition. Trying to walk it off at the moment. See there, just right underneath the left boot of Humberto Gomez. And we'll resume play. The ball sent in. Back for Murillo. Murillo looking for an avenue to shoot. It takes a deflection. So that's easy work for Paul. And a little bit more than 3 minutes remaining plus stoppage time here in the first half. But we haven't had many stoppages, just a couple of brief injuries here and there. Can't imagine it's going to be anything more than 2 minutes. Carabali. Trying to send it ahead, but nobody in the neighborhood. As we've seen that a number of times, not only from Amador, but from Portmore as well, just trying to utilize the long ball and send it forward, but nobody on the end of it to try to either run onto it or bring it down for their team. Damian Binns striding forward. Michael Binns back out onto the field, looking to play the long ball ahead for Stephen Williams, who gives a thumbs up for the idea, but the execution just a little bit off as Shavar Thomas applauds his team's creativity there. Michael Binns on just moments after getting injured by Humberto Gomez. Hughes. And now for Carabali. Ahmed Ramirez, who started to play a little bit more of a withdrawn role, trying to get some more touches on the ball, as this has very much been a battle in the trenches in the engine room in the middle of the field. And there's going to be a foul against Michael Binns, who's told to calm down by head referee Armando Villarreal from the United States. Binns just caught there, tripping up Luis Fraze. Good opportunity here for Amador as Paul is off of his line. He fumbles it initially, it's still loose, and finally Paul able to claim it on the ground. And Paul apologizing to his teammates for fumbling the free kick, but making amends for his mistakes. Damian Binns sends it forward one more time, but again, nobody there for Portmore, and that has really been the story for both teams. A wild number of possessions just wasted by simply sending it forward, and nobody there on the other end of it. And now we're for the fourth official. We're going to have 1 minute of stoppage time added on to the allotted 45 for this first half. Played off for Ramirez. As Ramirez, who surrendered possession, a little bit of frustration, commits the foul on Stephen Williams. It's about 30 seconds remaining in this first half of the first ever appearance for either of these teams in the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. And it's certainly been a slow start at that for these Jamaican and Panamanian clubs, respectively. Still looking for a breakthrough, still looking for that one magical moment to put them all over the line, but the work to get there hasn't necessarily been done by either side, and that's going to do it for the first half. Just really one play to write home about, and that was the clearance from Michael Binns. And right around the 32nd minute, but other than that, not much to talk about between these two sides, as it has been deadlocked in the middle of the park between Plaza Amador and Portmore United, who are tied up at 0-0 here at the half in Kingston. Well, folks, it's halftime here in Kingston at the National Stadium in Southeast Jamaica between Portmore United and CD Plaza Amador of Panama. The first leg in this round of 16 in the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League here in 2017. And these two stingy defensive squads really couldn't figure each other out as Armando Villarreal got us started at the beginning of the match, and throughout the entire first 45 minutes, it was chippy play between the two sides who rarely see each other on the pitch. As you see, Jair Palacios always animated on the sideline. Stephen Williams getting taken down. Shavar Thomas just being named head coach of Portmore United just basically a few hours ago, about 48 hours ago to be exact. Ahmed Ramirez, that was the first shot on goal of the match, and that came in about the 12th or 13th minute, which just goes to show how defensive these two teams started out the match. Eric Hughes making a save, but surrendering a corner as Michael Binns was involved offensively and defensively a lot, and that free kick going over the bar. And chances would continue to be few and far in between for these two sides. Ortega going into the book here from Armando Villarreal. Most likely for dissent rather than anything. And then Ortega would have a decent look on frame as Chevian Paul got a touch to it and would end up surrendering a corner as well. And then this was the big moment. Michael Binns clearing that header off of the line. And it's no wonder that the best chance of the game came from a set piece. And you see the reaction from Jair Palacios. Michael Binns to the rescue for Portmore United. And that was right around the 32nd minute mark. And then Luis Freys taken down by Jeremiah Lynch. Lynch going into the book towards the end of the second half. And then this was a scary moment for Portmore as Chevian Paul fumbled the free kick, claiming that he got hit from the side. And that would about do it for the first 45 minutes here from Kingston, Jamaica at National Stadium. 0-0 between these two very staunch defensive teams. As we'll take a look at some of the stats from the first half, and you see their possession absolutely being dominated by Plaza Amador, the Panamanian side, coming in to National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, and applying their own style of football here at Portmore in their home country. And this is the first leg of two. And you see the shots on goal, not exactly a lot for either team, a couple of yellow cards for both sides, as that would do it for the first half here from National Stadium, as both teams are still trying to figure one another out. We'll have some more action in the second half when we come back. Back here at National Stadium in Southeast Jamaica, in the capital of Jamaica, Kingston. As Armando Villarreal having some words with his counterparts, his assistant referees, as well as the fourth official, as we are almost ready to go here in the second half. And if it's anything like the first, don't expect to see too many chances, but I have a feeling that both coaches are going to make some tactical and perhaps some personnel changes to mix things up, as neither team really put their stamp offensively on the game. Now on the other side, defensively, both teams were certainly up to the task, as they were able to thwart a amount of half chances or even quarter chances for the opposition, not allowing them to get too close to goal. However, there was one big moment in which Algish Dixon elevated for a header off of a corner kick, and then that man, number 21, Michael Binns, cleared it off of the line. Certainly a goal-saving tackle. As we are almost ready for the start of the second half, Armando Villarreal pointing to his watch, letting the boys know that it is time to go and to try to settle a winner in this first leg, or perhaps not. We are playing a first and second leg in this Concacaf League all the way up until the final. So both teams have a chance to play at home or perhaps in their home country. Portmore United do not play their normal Red Stripe Premier League games at National Stadium. They actually play them at the Ferdinand Sports Complex, which seats about 3,000. National Stadium here in Kingston seats a lot more, as we are underway for the start of the second half. Portmore United and Plaza Amador of Panama, Portmore of Jamaica. Both teams looking to find a breakthrough for the team in blue. That Plaza Amador would certainly be of much more importance than any goal that Portmore could score, just due to the fact that it is an away goal and holds a little bit more weight. And now here's an early opportunity as it goes out wide, and then unleashing a shot, and it's just on the wrong side of the netting. But right off of the bat, much better from this Portmore side offensively. Jeremiah Lynch leaving it off for Ricardo Morris, who took a shot that certainly had some sting to it, but just unable to put it on the right side of the post. And that's great technique in terms of striking the ball. Kept his body over it the entire time. Didn't take a full swing. It didn't need it with the momentum of the ball carrying towards his foot. And fortunate for Eric Hughes that it was on the wrong side of the post, because anything a few inches to the right might have spelled disaster for the Panamanian side and glory for Ricardo Morris, as we already have a player down here at the start of the second half. Shavar Thomas having a conversation with one of his assistant coaches, as the medical staff from Portmore appears working on Michael Binns. Or perhaps that Rondi Smith. It is Rondi Smith who was down. As we'll take another look, and you see there just colliding heads with Murillo. And obviously, being a head injury, the referee and the medical staff going to be a little bit more careful with it. Not exactly just throw him back onto the pitch, make sure it's not a concussion or any serious type of head injury before he can go back onto the field to play. But Rondi Smith, certainly a warrior, just trying to shake it off here and get back into the match. Before the time being, Portmore will be playing down a man until Smith can return to the field, or perhaps, worst case scenario, Shavar Thomas will have to make an early substitute here in the 48th minute. But either way, we'll resume action. Still all tied up at 0-0. As this goes all the way back to Paul. And he will see it run out of bounds for a goal kick. And now Smith being ushered back onto the field. The fourth official allowing him back onto the field to play. And we are back at 11 apiece. Amador dominating possession with more than 60% of the ball in the first half. Portmore really struggled to just connect more than 5 passes together, as that goal kick goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in and a restart for Plaza Amador. Devion Paul had to make a couple of saves in the first half, but none was bigger than the save that Michael Binns made off of the goal line from the Algish Dixon header. Ramirez Gomez on the outside, and he's draw the foul. Ricardo Morris not happy with the call, but will retreat nonetheless. And now Amador sending some numbers forward here. A couple of center backs, Carabali as well as Dixon. And looking for an early goal here. It would be an away goal for the Panamanian side. That would carry a lot of weight heading into next week in the second leg back in Panama. Ball's lofted in. It's helped along. It's bouncing in the box. Now it's falling for Ramirez. Ramirez with the shot, but it's blocked by Grandison. And it needed to be a good challenge as Ramirez was winding up to take the shot. Jeremiah Lynch gives back possession, but then it's coughed right back up by Amador. But even within the first few minutes, the first 4 minutes that is, of the second half, it seems like there's much more energy, much more life on the offensive side of the ball for both of these teams. Extremely slow first half that hopefully will pick up here in the second. Morris dispossessed in the middle of the park. Now here's Ortega trying to sprint away from Morris. And now here's the through ball, and it's an early opportunity. Ortega leaving it off. Oh, and it's just wide. Oh, it's a superb chance for Murillo, as they could not get it right, and that's got to drive a manager mad. As we'll take another look, as Ortega just letting it run through for Murillo, and with Paul scrambling off of his line, Murillo just trying to place it into that far post, but could not get it right, and we remain at 0-0. By far the best chance of the game for either team. And Jose Murillo just could not convert. So we'll still have to wait for the first goal. In this round of 16 matchup between the Jamaican and Panamanian side, who have 10 league titles between the two teams, as Williams putting a volley on, but it's going to go out for a throw-in. The ball actually traveled negatively on the net, and you can see Williams totally frustrated with himself. Player of that caliber usually at least hits the frame from that distance, but getting it all wrong that time, and probably one of the worst shots of his career, and something that hopefully he'll be able to just laugh off, as his team will certainly need him heading down the stretch. He was one of the more active players in the first half offensively for Portmore. Now here's Ortega, who's been lively here in the start of the second half. Ortega off to the races, through for Ramirez. Ramirez with the shot, and that goes wide as well. It's starting to heat up here in Kingston. Ahmed Ramirez, the captain, who's provided a couple of half chances in the first half. Probably his best one of the evening so far, and sees it go wide. But it's becoming a little bit more open here at the National Stadium in Southeast Jamaica. A little bit more room to play in the middle of the park, and that has to be expected, with both teams very stingy in the first half defensively. And I'm sure both Shavar Thomas and Jair Palacios made some tactical changes to maybe open things up a little bit and try to get a bit more action in the attacking third. This one being sent through. And now back out wide. Gomez sends it in, and now it's falling, and the shot swing and a miss from Murillo. And now tied up, and a foul called against Portmore. Take another look as the foul was committed there by Stephen Williams. And Jair Palacios, who's certainly been animated on the touchline for the opening 53 minutes or so. As Ortega goes down in a heap, and now a good set piece opportunity for the Panamanian side. Now a meeting of the minds between the likes of Bethencourt Ortega in on the mix, as well as Murillo. Still undecided as to who's going to take the free kick for Amador. And it looks like it is going to be Algish Dixon. Dixon going for frame there, but it hits the wall. And it will be a throw-in opportunity for Amador. Sinclair leaving it off. For Murillo is looking to maybe put in a long throw-in. Some decent distance on it. It's flicked along, but Paul off of his line, read it the whole way. Looking for an outlet. You can tell by his reaction, both from his facial expression and verbally, that he wasn't happy with that punt, and now a foul called against Plaza Amador. Portmore can move up the field. Then Portmore, this is their first game of the 2017-2018 schedule. They've yet to start up the 17-18 Red Stripe Premier League in Jamaica. And on the other side, for Plaza Amador, they've already played 3 games. They haven't dropped a point. They're 3-0 with 9 points to their name. Most recent game on July 29th against Atletico Veragense, where Jose Murillo, that is, scoring in the 87th minute to give Jair Palacios' side the 3 points. And then Shavar Thomas for Portmore United, the head coach. That being announced just a couple of days ago, no more than 48 hours ago, as Ramirez trips Morris in the middle of the park, now sending it through, but that's all the way to Paul, and he's able to hang out to it. And that might be indicative of how this game is going to be decided, is simply just who's going to be able to capitalize on the other team's mistakes, as there certainly have been half chances granted to either team, but neither the Jamaican or Panamanian side has really been able to cash in on those opportunities up until this point. And we've seen a little bit better build-up from both sides, as I'm sure the focus had to be in the attacking third for both coaches. Jair Palacios with a number of years under his belt, coaching not only Plaza Amador, but as well as a number of other teams. And on the other side for Portmore United, Shavar Thomas is 36 years of age. Amador sending it forward as Bethencourt takes a big touch, and he is drilled. Sonny Ricketts. Bethencourt has taken a number of hits throughout the match tonight as we approach the hour mark. Take another look there as Bethencourt knew that the pressure was coming, so just helped it along further into the Portmore United defensive third and ended up paying the price as well. Now another set piece for Plaza Amador. They have a couple of big bodies who are good in the air, like Lid Carabali as well as Algish Dixon. In addition to their normal strikers, Jose Murillo as well as Ahmed Ramirez, as Ramirez picks up a foot and he's called for the high foot, as Ramirez and Damian Binns have exchanged some words for each other. They resume. Michael Binns trying to get around a couple of Plaza Amador defenders. That was Enrico Ricketts up the right flank. Williams finding Morris. Back for Grandison. Haven't heard his name in a while as he sends it all the way over. And that pass goes out of bounds as Ewan Grandison slips up a little bit on the terrain here at National Park. Dixon with the big ball over to the other side, and gambling on it was Damian Binns. He loses that gamble, and now it's through for Ramirez, but there's a great sliding challenge from Andre Dice. Still with the Panamanian side in Portmore territory, though. Good defensive work from Damian Binns this time as Smith was trying to bring it down. Calaban stepping forward, falling for Ramirez, but dispossessed right in front of the penalty area. And now numbers the other way for Portmore. Striding forward, Grandison taking a bit too heavy of a touch, and coming away with it was Fraze. And now with both teams having numbers committed either way, there's a lot more space to play in the middle of the park. It's a long for Fraze, but offside on the far side. And look at the reaction from Jair Palacios on his hands and knees, pleading to the assistant referee to keep the flag down, but no divine intervention will step in here. And the Portmore back line doing a good job of stepping and making it difficult to play in behind for the Panamanian side. Almost an hour played here at National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica, between Portmore United of Jamaica and Plaza Amador of Panama. Not much to write home about just yet, but Morris, or rather, that's Jeremiah Lynch, pulling the defender off nicely, trying to get the pass off, but waited a bit too long. Lynch getting the ball back, now flicking it through. It's cleared away, now back out, and this shot over the bar. And you can see how frustrated Rondi Smith was with Enrico Ricketts. The outside back who doesn't see a ton of opportunities at goal. Snatching at it there. As Smith just could not beat the goalkeeper, Eric Hughes, to the ball. Hughes with a poor clearance. And Enrico Ricketts probably could have taken a touch, maybe two, in order to settle the ball. But let the moment get to his head, and it remains 0-0. Which has certainly been one of the storylines of this match. Getting a bit anxious in the attacking third. Nasty challenge, no call from Armando Villarreal. They say play on. Work to do for Morris to keep it in. He won't be able to. Fraze. Dixon. Long for Ahmed Ramirez. Jose Murillo. Holding off Ewan Grandison and drawing the foul. And each set piece is really like gold for these two teams, just because the chances are few and far in between. Trying to take advantage of what opportunities they can to throw numbers forward. Stephen Williams trying to bend it in behind the defense. Rondi Smith tracking the ball down and forcing the Amador back line to clear it away. But first we'll have a foul against Rondi Smith, who is a little perplexed by the situation. Now a couple players cramping up here. Certainly is hot here in Kingston, Jamaica, right around 87, 88 degrees at around kickoff. Well, we started off extremely quickly here in the start of the second half, but it has certainly slowed down a bit. Again, Portmore United just trying to feel out this new system that Shavar Thomas instilled over the past couple of days after being the replacement for Linval Dixon, who got fired even after two back-to-back appearances, as Ramirez lets loose, but that's over the bar. Ahmed Ramirez, well, this Panamanian side has had few chances. He's been involved in almost every single one of them. 24-year-old captain for this side in his 6th season. Been with the club since he was 18 years old. Took a brief little hiatus to travel to America to play with the Real Monarchs. In the United Soccer League. Fraze. Played along the Amador back line. And surrendering possession yet again. A long ball cut out in the middle of the park by Murillo. Heavy touch from Dice, and there's a big challenge. Both players got the ball, so Armando Villarreal says play on. Anderson gets rid of it just in time. Now here's Michael Binns. Binns sending it forward. It's a good ball. Along for Dye. There's the shot. Oh, and it's off the post. The rebound falling to Smith. There's the shot. It's saved by Hughes. Still loose in the box. Morris unable to get there. And now it is going to be a foul against Portmore. The first real spell of action around the net for this Jamaican side. And it seems Jeremiah Lynch hit the post. It was a great ball forward from Michael Binns. He's been wanting to use that left peg to his advantage all night, and he finally gets it right here, finding Jeremiah Lynch in stride, but the shot just out of the stretch of Hughes. But on the wrong side of the post. And then the presence of mind for Smith to lay it off for Morris, but has his shot saved by Hughes. So great action down on this end. And now the first substitution of the evening, and it's going to be for Javier Palacios. As it appears to be Marlon Avila coming in, and he will replace Ahmed Ramirez, the captain, who has been one of the main sources of offense, and now dishing off the armband to Jose Murillo. And Ramirez will take his time getting off the pitch now. Certainly a solid night's work for the 24-year-old. Clocked in about 66 minutes worth. And will now get a well-deserved break for the rest of the match as Marlon Avila comes onto the scene here in the 67th. Still waiting for that breakthrough from either side. And Portmore United run the risk of going back to Panama without a goal to their name. And if you're Plaza Amador, a 0-0 draw on the road in a first and second leg format is certainly a win in that regard. As this one sent along for Gomez, keeps it in play. Still a chance here. There's a good challenge from Michael Binns, last touch off of number 21, and it will be a corner for the Panamanian side. And another substitution now for Javier Palacios. And it's going to be Edgar Aparicio. And it'll be Aparicio to come over and take the corner for Plaza Amador. And Dixon got a whack on the head from Stephen Williams, which is going to force Armando Villarreal to blow the whistle. Dixon appears to be all right, maybe just making a little bit more of it than he should. Maybe trying to draw a penalty. Albarico sends it in, and Bethencourt was the player substituted out, so two of their main offensive players are now out of the game as Paul clears it away. Rodney Smith bringing it down, looking for Stephen Williams. It's a nice little chip ball for him. Trying to get around Murillo, just shrugs him off. Great strength from Williams. Now around 3 defenders, now 4, and finally gets it away from Portmore, and the crowd appreciates the work from Stephen Williams holding the ball up for the home team. One sent forward as Fraze was giving chase and just knocked out of bounds by Osani Ricketts. Getting into the last 20-plus minutes here at the National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. Jair Palacios has to be happy with his team's defensive effort, maybe not so much offensively. And more of the same could be said for Shavar Thomas's club. Binns clears it away, but nobody in the neighborhood for Portmore to get onto it. Jeremiah Lynch now provided the pressure. Fraze finding Murillo. Murillo sending it through. It's a good ball. Putting on the brakes is Ortega, trying to send it across. Still Ortega after the deflection. Ortega to the byline, but it is going to be a goal kick. It was decent work from Sergio Ortega, the 27-year-old out of Panama, 16 goals in 6 seasons. His 6th season with Plaza Amador. Portmore moving the way up the field. Binns was trying to thread the needle there. Portmore ended up winning it back. Here's Morris. Morris with a couple of options. Still Morris. Morris is still going, and now finally tackled from behind by Humberto Gomez. And boy, did it need to be a good challenge, with Morris just one more touch away from being in on goal. Big ball over for Fraze, being encouraged forward. Fraze trying to get it along, but that's going to roll all the way over the byline for a goal kick for Chevion Paul. Take another look at the Morris half chance. Takes a little bit of a stumble there, and then the tackle was picture perfect from Humberto Gomez. Grandison trying to get away from the Amador defender. This one sent forward, a good challenge from Caraballi. And Portmore will have to start over again. Under 20 minutes remaining. Still no score between this Jamaican and Panamanian side. Stephen Williams over for Grandison. Grandison trying to make the penetrating pass for Rondi Smith, but it's intercepted, and now Murillo off to the races. Murillo trying to chip it forward. Had a couple of runners with him on the left side, tried to go all the way across field. Stephen Williams striding forward. And now it's through for Morris. Morris sends it across. There's the touch, and there's the finish. Jeremiah Lynch gets the tally for the Jamaican side, and Portmore United, in Shavar Thomas's first game in charge, have a 1-0 lead here at National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. Well, it started with a darting run from Stephen Williams as he found Morris, and then Jeremiah Lynch made the run to the front post and just stepping in front of Humberto Gomez. And it really is a game of inches. And that was actually Algish Dixon who he stepped in front of, beating him to the punch and beating him to the goal. And Jeremiah Lynch getting rewarded for his running that he's been doing all night. And number 9 getting a huge goal that puts Harborview in front, and now a little bit of a cushion, and if they're able to hang on, it will certainly serve them well as they head back to Panama for the second leg next week for their opponent. It is 1-0 to Portmore. Jeremiah Lynch has a lot of experience in professional soccer in his second season with Portmore. Spent some time with Harborview before that, as well as St. Louis FC, the United Soccer League, as well as the Wilmington Hammerheads. And now Amador looking to answer on the other end. Well, with the quality of these two sides, you just could not imagine a 0-0 tie. And we will officially not finish that way, as looks like Roshane Sharp is going to come on and replace the goal scorer just moments ago, Jeremiah Lynch. So number 9, it was probably going to be taken off before he scored the goal, now coming off having done his work for the night. And it'll be up to his comrades as well as Roshane Sharp to try to finish this one off, as it is going to be offside on Ernesto Sinclair. Jeremiah Lynch getting some applause from his coach, Shavar Thomas. And it could prove to be a very, very big goal. We obviously still have about 15 more minutes to sort out here in Kingston. But it will certainly help when they go back to Panama in about a week's time. Still a lot of time for Amador to try to get back into it, though. They subbed off 2 of their main offensive players in Bethencourt as well as Ameth Ramirez. Sharp trying to get away from a couple of Amador defenders. Bins with a good challenge and now going to hunt the ball down. But a good turn away by Humberto Gomez. Trying to send it up the sidelines, but knocked away by Ricketts. Caliban. Now out wide again. Good run here from Amador. And now a foul going to be called against Portmore, and this is in a dangerous area. Aparicio drawing the foul, and now a dangerous set-piece opportunity for the Panamanian side. And after coming into the game, Aparicio has really become their set-piece specialist. And now all the big bodies are forward for Jair Palacios' side. Montevideo instructing with Rondi Smith and Ricardo Morris not to move from their position 10 yards away. Javian Paul directing traffic. In comes the free kick. It's a good ball in. It's all the way across. It's still loose, and Paul jumps on top of it. And it looks like he caught a cleat as well as he goes down. And you take another look as Andre Dice didn't know much about it, as it just hit his back heel there and falling perfectly for Javian Paul, but Paul playing the price is had his hand stepped on by a couple of looming Amador players. Jair Palacios not impressed with the finishing capabilities of his team tonight. Morris trying to keep it in play. Last touch off of Portmore, and it'll go back to Amador. Here's a good through ball around the defender towards the back post, and it's touched away by Stephen Williams, who tracked back nicely. Ortega was waiting for it on the back post, but a good job from Stephen Williams, who started the attack that led to the Jeremiah Lynch goal, which right now separates this Jamaican and Panamanian side for the moment. We have a little more than 12 minutes to play here in Kingston, Jamaica. Amador looking to get back into it, maybe via corner. Aparicio. One more time from the set piece. Back for the substitute, he whips it in. Takes a bad deflection. And sprinting to the ball first is Ewan Grandison. Grandison going forward, finding Morris. Morris with a big touch, trying to get around the defender. Now here's Williams on top of it. Stephen Williams towards the byline, across for Morris. There's the save from Hughes, and he keeps it a one-goal game. That was a mighty important save from Eric Hughes as he keeps his side in it. However, Amador give it right back. Smith lining up the shot, and it's just wide of the left post. And Eric Hughes is livid with his back line. And I'm sure Rondy Smith is livid with himself that he didn't put it on frame. It remains 1-0. Take another look here. Great work from Stephen Williams, and it was a very similar play with the player who made the run to the front post, getting the look on goal. And Morris just unable to get it past Hughes. That is a terrific kick save from Eric Hughes, denying Morris to that far post. Certainly had to cover a lot of area with his legs, having been on the near post, but doing extremely well and keeping it a one-goal game here in Kingston. Goes out wide again. Amador with 10 minutes to try to find the equalizer and a vital away goal. Avila. Tackled by Michael Binns, who's thrown in a number of those tonight. Portmore trying to hang on to a one-goal lead and maybe get that insurance goal before the 90 minutes is up, and then Javier Palacios' side desperately trying to get back into it and equalize and get an away goal that would prove to be of the utmost importance heading back to Panama a week from now, as Ortega sends this toward the back post, hoping for a teammate to get on the end of it, but it's out of the reach of Humberto Gomez, who smacks the ball all the way over the advertisement stanchions here at National Stadium. Enrico Ricketts sending this forward, hoping Rondy Smith will run onto it. Binns trying to bring it down. It's intercepted in the middle of the park. Back for Dixon. Pimentel. Break ball over for Ortega. Sergio Ortega 1v1 with Ricketts now. Ortega gets it over. They're asking for a handball from Grandison. Falls to Pimentel again as he helps it along. Dice takes the easy way out. It will be a throw-in for Amador. And we are going to have one more substitution from Siobhan Edwards. Shavar Thomas, that is. As it's going to be Suli McCullough coming on to replace Stephen Williams, who started the attack that led to the Jeremiah Lynch goal. It was Ricardo Morris who got the assist, but Stephen Williams started the entire play, so he comes off tonight with a good feeling left in his mouth. And onto the scene is McCullough here in the 83rd minute. Still time for Amador to get an equalizer and an away goal. The big throw-in, deflected initially. Avila trying to let it run through. It goes back out wide. There's the challenge from Portmore, as it was Damian Binns in on it. This cross sent in, and Paul able to get there and hang on to it. And he's looking to operate quickly the other way. Good touch from Binns. Getting it over for Morris. Binns again. And Binns taken down in the middle of the park. And that's a professional foul from Humberto Gomez, but he might go into the book for it. He was just trying to hold up play, but No card now. Jose Murillo coming off. And it is going to be Richard Rodriguez coming on here. Number 10 onto the scene in the 84th minute. Maybe number 10 can provide a number 10 type of moment for this Panamanian side who were desperate for any source of offense to get back into this one. Would be the first loss of the 2017-2018 campaign for Plaza Amador, as they have gone 3-0, good for 9 points at the start of their domestic league. Portmore United, their first game in the 2017-2018 campaign, and the first game ever with Shavar Thomas in charge. And what a big night it would be for Shavar and this club to get a big win in the first leg of the first ever Scotiabank Concacaf League. Carabali. Dixon goes back. Now long for Lid Carabali once more. Carabali striding forward. Portmore not electing to meet him just yet. Carabali does well to get there first with Smith looming in the area for Portmore. Long ball sent ahead, and Ricketts is just kind of trying to see that out of bounds. They're claiming that it went off of Ricketts last, but the ball was already over the line. And it'll be a goal kick to Shavion Paul. As Enrico Ricketts has done a good job defensively on the outside, right in front of Jair Palacios now in this second half. Dice stumbles a little bit trying to clear it away. Second ball falls for Grandison. Sharp finding Binns. Now out wide for Damian Binns. Amador starting to stretch a little bit, press higher up the field. And Portmore cough it up, feeling the pressure. This is where Amador needs to capitalize on their opportunities. Rodriguez, fresh into the game, number 10. Lays it back. There's the shot on frame, but it's held nicely by Paul. As the half chances continue to go by with nothing to show for them for this Panamanian side. Taking another look there, as he did well to keep it on frame, as there's a foul against Rondi Smith. He's put in a nice shift tonight, doing all sorts of running defensively and offensively for Shavar Thomas. Take another look there. As it was just a little bit over-aggressive from Rondi Smith. Pimentel. Valentin Pimentel gives possession away. Richard Rodriguez pokes it away from Sharp before any counterattack could start to evolve. 3 minutes plus added time remaining for this Portmore side to get a 1-0 decision in the first leg. Certainly going to be a tough task to head to Panama and try to hold on and win with a 1-0 lead. But at the moment, they are in the driver's seat. Smith trying to turn on Dixon, but Dixon having none of it. Pimentel down in the middle. And Pimentel starting to cramp up a little bit, getting help from one of his comrades. The heat's starting to get to some of these players. We've already had a number of players cramp up on the field before the 90 minutes is up. 87 degrees here in Kingston, Jamaica, and doing plenty of running. The average professional soccer player, obviously depending on what position you play, with the exception of the goalkeeper, runs about 6 to 9 miles in any given match. And certainly for a player like Pimentel, who is known for his work in the engine room in the middle of the park, you can imagine why in any 87-degree heat he might start to cramp up a little bit as he's receiving some medical attention from the Amador medical staff. And Pimentel just trying to walk it off here. Shavar Thomas showing some appreciation for number 30. He was certainly put in good work for Javier Palacios and this Panama side. Still a little bit work left to do for Shavar Thomas's club, and Amador now looking for any sort of lifeline to find the equalizer. Pimentel will continue on for the remaining 1 minute plus added time. Avila was trying to turn, but he ends up committing the foul. And now the Portmore players going to milk the clock for what it's worth and take their sweet time getting the free kicks as well as throw-ins and alike. You see there Avila a little bit late and tackling Morris from behind. Morris got the assist on the Jeremiah Lynch goal, which right now separates these two sides. Now here's a good opportunity. The strike is blocked in front by Dixon. Pimentel finding Rodriguez. Goes out wide for Fraze. Fraze sending it forward. Laid off nicely for Rodriguez. Richard Rodriguez. Dispossessed nicely by Ewan Grandison. Javier Palacios not exactly happy. Shavar Thomas pointing towards the corner. Morris trying to get out of trouble there. Nice little 1-2 to get out of a tight area. McCalla dispossessed. And then McCalla committing the nasty foul, but being his first infraction, is not going to receive a yellow card. It was Ortega again who went down. He's been on the end of a couple of nasty challenges from Portmore. Here's Avila. Lauren Avila trying to get around two defenders. He does extremely well just to get the cross off. Andre Dice had to clear it away. Just a couple minutes remaining here in stoppage time. Morris still on the ball, but gives it away. Shavar Thomas disgusted with him. It's back to Amador, who still have some life left. Rodriguez into the dying moments of this first leg in the round of 16 of the inaugural Scotiabank Concacaf League. Rodriguez taken down, and it will be a free kick for Amador. Looks like Rodriguez, the lefty, is going to be on top of this free kick for Javier Palacios. One of the last chances of the match for this Panamanian side, who has looked very good defensively except for one lapse, but has really not been able to muster anything up offensively. The ball sent in, cleared away by Damian Binns, but it will stay with Amador, who continue to see the clock dwindle down. Rodriguez flips it over the top. And it's going to go back to Portmore. And one big clearance might just do it here and give this Jamaican side a 1-0 lead heading into the second leg in Panama in a week's time. Damian Binns directing traffic, making sure that this restart is utilized and sent towards the other end nicely. Rondi Smith trying to take a big touch into space. The ball's going to stay in play. And he'll do well to just send it into the area. Fraze got it wrong, and now it's falling for Sharp. No call from the referee, poked away for a moment by McCalla. Shavar Thomas leading his team to get back into defensive shape and to not give up a goal here right at the last. Fraze with a couple of nice moves and then taken down from behind by Sharp. And Armando Villarreal going to the pocket and showing Sharp a yellow card here in the 94th minute. As Armando Villarreal takes a look at his watch, as well as the fourth official, as it is right around that time to blow this game dead. Ewan Grandison wins the ball back, and that just might do it. Grandison maybe wanted to put a second one up on the board. That would really put the nail in the coffin. Grandison going for goal, but it's saved by Hughes, as he couldn't get the right amount of pace on it. And Hughes will collect, and that is most likely going to do it. From National Stadium here, kicks it, maybe chance for one more. Fraze goes out wide. Here's a chance, it's sent in, and it's all the way across. They were looking for Avili, but he could not get there. And that is going to do it from National Stadium. Portmore United, in the debut of Shavar Thomas, they get him a win at home and a 1-0 lead heading into the second leg back in Panama in a week's time. Jeremiah Lynch gets the game winner in the 73rd minute, and that is how we will finish. Portmore United will head back to Panama with a 1-0 lead. No away goal for Plaza Amador, but certainly a valiant effort. Thanks for tuning in, folks. I'm Tyler Terrence saying so long for now, and we'll talk to you soon. Final score from Kingston, 1-0 to Portmore.